In this course, I want to continue modeling command desk compartments. I'll choose to the layer section and turn off the layer of everything except the command deck by pressing the light. And I will have height. Next, let's hide the top surface as well. Next, let's remove one curve of the inside edges. I enter the top edge command. Next, I select all of the edges on the inner border. Afterward, I compile it by space, and with the join command, I join all the curves to each other. Then using the isolate objects command, I just leave this curve on the screen. Afterwards, I can continue working on the top view. Firstly, I want to turn it on by pressing the lower deck's lamp. And I enter the command .h. Next, let's remove one curve of the stairway. I finish by pressing space. And I save this curve in the command deck by change objects layer. Afterwards, I can hide the lower deck again. Next, I shrink the top view. Everything on the screen, I choose the transform set XYZ coordinates option. I only want to move into the Z axis and I move them all the same location. Then I can continue working on the top view. I enter the line command, then press space. I want to draw two lines exactly at the endpoints, one down and one up. I want to draw another straight line, 5 meters long from end. Next. Then exactly at this level, I will draw another straight line again. Then join these two lines each other and I can delete this line. There will be saloon at the stern and we also add a table here for the meeting. We would have a room like half office, half living room here. Next, I want to add a door here, line. I draw another straight line holding end and intersection. I re-entered the line command and holding from the mid, I drew a 0.7 meter long line upwards. Then I select this line and mirror. I choose point and get symmetrical to the other side. Then I select lines and join each other. After that, I entered the line command again. I draw a line 4 meters long from end and again. I draw another straight line to join the wall. Next, let's draw two more rooms from the same room on the opposite side. I want to use this room as the captain's room. We didn't add the captain's room on the lower deck. There was a crew room for a total 15 people on the lower deck. The one-man crew room will also be right here, and this will be captain's room. I want to add a kitchen and sink in the opposite row. I entered the line command again. Next, I grabbed the end and drew a straight line 2 meters long. I combined it below. I'm drawing another 2 meters long line and connecting it at the bottom. Next, let's draw two more straight lines exactly at the point of the ladder. Get direct doors around here. I choose both. I make the sign. I also want the color of line here to be sign. I make the sign. Next, I select these two lines. I enter the trim command. And the black one curve, I trim. Likewise, the curves here also doors. I'm using the explode command. Then I make these two curves color sign. Next, let's add two more doors right here. Let there be two gates. One on the port and one on the starboard. I enter the line command. I'm holding exactly from end and drawing a straight line that joins intersection. I draw two lines 0.7 meters long and 0.7 meters long. Then holding the ends, I draw two more lines vertically. Afterwards, I can delete all of the curves here. Then I get these curves also symmetric to the other side. Next, I enter the split command. First, I select the part to be split and press space, and I select the parts to split. I complete the split operation by space. I want to make the color of these curves cyan too, then I can delete the black curves. Exactly here is the captain's room. We have a kitchen opposite, and there is a sink on the right. At the above is the comment room, where the crew manages the boat. I want to select all the curves inside. Next, I am going to extrude them upwards. I don't need to choose the door, because that was already a single curve. I shrink the top down, enter the perspective view, and extrude 2.2 meters upwards. Next, let's show the objects we have hidden. I hid the surface on the ceiling, and let's check. We didn't choose this curve. Let's take the symmetry of this surface to the other side. I choose the surface and clicked mirror and 0. And I got the symmetry to the other side. After that, there isn't any problem. For the ceiling part, let's create a surface. I entered the command top edge. I selected the edges at the ceiling level. I get the curve of these edges. I finish pressing space. With the join command, I join all the curves to each other and entering the command planar surface. I'm creating a surface inside. Next, I select the surface and extrude the surface down minus 0.3 meters. Then I can delete the curve found here. I turned off surface and polysurface. I select curve, delete it. Then I click Ctrl A. First, let's open surface and polysurface. Afterwards, I click Ctrl A and turn off ISO curves as well. Then I select everything found here. Choosing Change Object Lever from Layer section into the Command tag. I'm saving the object in Layer. Afterwards, I can reopen anything I have hidden. With this lesson, we have completed the modeling of the compartments. In the next lesson, we do a general checkup and then we continue to work by adding the glasses on our model. See you in the next lesson.